I want to welcome you back to BLACKSITE tonight. We're going to talk about Officer Tatum, Anton Daniels, Charleston White, Donovan Sharp, and many other coons of black conservative saying that this 17-year-old young man, Karmelo Anthony, should go to prison for killing Austin Metcalf. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, hit that notification button, but also comment on this video. We have so many coons in the black community who are supporting putting Karmelo Anthony in prison for standing his ground against Austin Metcalf. Here's a young man who didn't create the situation in which Austin Metcalf got killed. He was basically sitting under a tent by himself, scrolling through his smartphone, and he's the one who's attacked. He did not attack them, but now that he stood his ground, refused to be bullied, and he ended up murdering Austin Metcalf, you have some of the biggest black YouTubers out here saying that this man deserves to go to prison. This is absolutely shocking because these the same men who supported Daniel Pitty, Kyle Rittenhouse, George Zimmerman. But when it comes to a young black man who is doing nothing wrong, who's a 3.7 GPA student, a football player, who saved a young child's life at 13 years old, he has to sit there and take a beating or run to the police and act like a coward. But those other individuals, they can save their manhood. They could kill somebody and walk away free and walk away with millions of dollars because of donations by those who supported them. There are people in our community who are angry that this young man has received over $350,000 in support from FBAs and ADOS. But those are the same people who are not angry when they see these other white men, and it has been a multitude of white men over decades, centuries, who have received dollars for fatally killing black men, and nothing was said. But like I have always said in these videos, Malcolm told us that we have all the rights in the world to defend ourselves. We have a God-given right to defend ourselves. But in their mind, we should never defend ourselves. We should take the beatings. We should take the robberies. We should take the redlining. We should take everything that they dish out. But when we dish out the pain, see, when we dish out the retribution, there's a problem. But to see our own community turn against one of our own, a young man who had the utmost of character in the community, now see some of the biggest and most successful YouTubers turn their back on him. This is why we can never move forward. We have to get rid of these sellouts, these coons, before we can move forward, because they are a danger. You got these conservative twins, you got all these other people out here saying that this young man is a thug, a criminal, a murderer, when he was sitting there not bothering anybody. He statement it seemed like he was premeditated to look out and kill somebody. People live in Texas, basically an open carry state, where you can carry a gun in your pickup truck, you can carry a gun on your waist, you can carry a knife if you 17 years old or above, which he was. It was said that this was not on school grounds, this was a community track event. But he's the guilty one for using force. But they are not talking about the force that the twin brothers used against them, against Karmelo. They are making it seem like this 135 or 40-pound boy who was outweighed by these two linebacker twins, that he should have took that beating, he should have ran like a coward, lost his manhood, his man card, but he stood his ground. And more black men need to stand their ground. It's 2025. No more running. And that's what Carmelo Anthony stood for. But to see grown-ass black men out here supporting that this young man should go to prison is absolutely nuts. But I'm not surprised, because they know where their bread is buttered. They know where the dollars come from. It comes from conservative white MAGA Americans who are out here saying some of the most racist things that you could possibly say on these social media platforms about this young man. A man who was bothering nobody. But he has to live like he did something wrong. Yes, he murdered somebody, but it would have never happened if they wouldn't have went over there and put their hands on him, or if they would have went and they didn't like something, talk to security or the school administration. But they didn't do that. So they wanted the confrontation, and they got their confrontation. Carmelo Anthony pulled out his knife and defended his manhood, his man card. And that's what happened. So why does he have to be the one to defend himself when he was the one who wasn't bothering anybody? He was sitting by himself under a tent because it was raining. That's what one of the witnesses said, who was with his daughters. He was doing nothing, and they came up there and attacked him. So these boys are used to using force against people who they deem unlikable. We have seen the one twin brother who's still living give multiple accounts of what happened, but it seems like the Frisco police, the Frisco community, the Frisco DA is all on cold, but we can't be on cold. We are out here supporting. We have some of the biggest YouTubers supporting Austin Metcalf and his family. It is an absolute disgrace, but I'm not shocked, because it's all about the money and the fame when it comes to some of these black YouTubers. I would love to hear your comments in the comments section. I want to thank you for listening to BLACKSITE. Hope you subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button, but also share this video.